This is my good friend, JP van der Veen. We studied philosophy together for 3 years, a very long time ago. Recently, JP did a post on LinkedIn about the importance of preparation for practicing law, and in particular about reading the whole case and understanding the reasoning. Proper law reports are the basic tool of the trade for legal practitioners, and they are needed for proper preparation, but they are expensive, and a lot of us wing it without law reports. And even if you do have law reports, it's always a good idea to do a wider search for unreported cases or very recent ones. Luckily for South Africa, we have the wonderful people at SAFLII. We have a massive collection of judgments from all the high courts, the SCA, the Concourt, the Labour Court, the Labour Appeal Court, and some other forums, and it's all for free. So I had a browse, and for example, the Supreme Court of Appeal section starts a substantial collection from 1984, and your high courts have a really good collection for 10 years back or more. And SAFLII updates daily, rather quickly after judgments are released from the courts. Being able to search SAFLII is essential to properly prepare for a matter. But there's the challenge. SAFLII have got masses of cases on their site. So how to find the one that you need? Here's their search bar. So you can search for keywords, case names, case numbers, and citations, or any combination of keywords. And if you don't get the results you like, try like this, putting your terms within quote marks. Then it narrows the results to only those exact items. So here's what the results look like for confirm jurisdiction within quotes. This will only find cases that have these words together in that order. Without the quotes, it will find cases with those words anywhere, but separated by other words within the judgment. The SAFLII search results, they default to relevance, which is some sort of internal code SAFLII has for ranking them by relevance. So if you look at the search bar, there are filter options you can try. So now I can click on by date, and it ranks the results with the most recent at the top. And look at that, the very recent SCA case of FIFA versus Sidibe. Sweet. Then I'm going to try by title, and it sorts the results by alphabet. Then I can try by database, and this one is very useful. It arranges the results by court. So you can see how many cases in each division have judgments with those search results. So I go down to Supreme Court of Appeal, and I see they have 32 cases with the words confirm jurisdiction in them. And I click through, and there is FIFA versus Sidibe at number 9 on these filtered results. So now there are already a few ways we've just seen to approach finding the right case. And there's more on SAFLII. If you look below the search bar, you will see advanced search. And this opens up great search options, such as any of these words, all of these words, this phrase, and you can even search for a particular judge. And then they have a filter on the side where you can limit the search to only certain courts. So in this example, I could search for the phrase confirm jurisdiction, and I could limit that search in that window on the side to the Supreme Court of Appeal. And yeah, that's just many variations you can do in the advanced search. Now, also below the search bar is the link to SAFLII's law site. Now, this is SAFLII's case annotations, and it is very good. It's a hidden gem hidden in Saflii, and you should try it and get to use it. Let's have a look. So these are the functions it has, and let's just zoom in a bit so we can see. So you can see you can find by citation or by case name. And what I'm going to do, let's look for an old classic. I'm going to type in Odacrawl as a party name because I'm just not that good. I can't remember the citation. And we click search. Now I have 5 case results and 1 journal article. Now that's very useful. It's pulling up journal articles as well. I don't know which one it is. So I do know I'm looking for a well referred to main authority. So along to the right, I've just taken a snapshot off to the side because I couldn't fit it in. Look at that. The Saflii law site tells us that the first result has been referenced 539 times and the second one 50 times. So I guess it's the first result that I want. So let's click on that one and have a look. Now, this is impressive. It's a very powerful research tool. All the later cases that cite this Odacrawl case are listed here. And at the right-hand side is the citation index. So you can see which ones have been further cited and by how many cases. So I had to scroll down, and this is a long list for Odacrawl. Yeah, I can just imagine if you tried Plascon Evans, you'd really be scrolling and scrolling. So I scrolled down, and Home Affairs versus Public Protector caught my eye because you can see there it's been referenced 24 times. So I think if that's indicating it might be useful. So let me click on that one. Now what we see is all the later cases that have referenced Home Affairs versus Public Protector. And they are conveniently arranged from latest to oldest. This is an amazing research, and it's totally free. Thanks, Saflii. If you guys have spare budget, donate to these guys. They are doing amazing work. This Citator is like a delightful rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland. You can just keep exploring paths of precedent and just get lost in these references and go on like a journey of precedent exploration. So if you want to read this Home Affairs case list, you click here and that'll take you through. The other clicks take you within the annotations. And it'll take you to the full case on Saflii, where you can read the HTML version here just by scrolling down. Or, I mean, the functionality here is fantastic. You can download the PDF or the Word file, and then where the courts do provide it, you've got summaries in PDF and Word file. Just one more thing. Let's go back to the Odacrawl case in the Saflii Citator. Now, here we have the list of cases that cite Odacrawl. Now, if we scroll down past these, you will find law journals referencing Odacrawl. And if you scroll down a bit more, you can find the cases that Odacrawl cites, and also within the citation index. So you can see at a glance how many times these cases have been referred to. Now, if you look on the side there, this is fantastic functionality. Because if it was long and you were looking for important cases, you would obviously pick the high numbers, the ones that have been higher referenced. I mean, this is very, very useful. And then you can check later cases that have referenced your case, see if it's still good in law. Can you believe that this is all free and at your disposal every day? Thanks, Saflii. Again, guys, donate. We really need these guys at Saflii to keep functioning at this peak optimum performance. It's amazing what they're doing for us in the legal industry. So, say you want to read a later case that refers to Odacrawl, and it's a very long judgment with lots of footnotes, but you only want to read the case that talks about Odacrawl. So yeah, you don't want to keep scrolling and scrolling and peering through. So let's pick this Concord case of Minister of Water. So now we're at the judgment page of SAFLII. So what we can do in order to find it quickly within this long case, we click Control F on our keyboard and it'll bring up a search window on that page on the top right. And we can type Odacrawl in there. And when we press click or enter, it'll actually show you how many times Odacrawl appears in that case. And you can click the up or down buttons to navigate. And then it'll take you to that part, as we can see, where Odacrawl is mentioned. And yeah, just remember it might be referenced more than once, and that counter at the top will tell you how many times. And you can also find, you can also use Control F to find cases within Odacrawl too, or if you want to find one of the cases that it cites. And Control F is a very handy way to search PDFs and online judgments for keywords. Now, that is already fast, efficient, and effective results within SAFLII. But there's one more trick you can use to use SAFLII. And on that note, I have used a lot of browsers to search for legal information, and my preference is Google Chrome. No, I'm not getting paid for this. I just like the results and the way they get displayed. So what you can do is go to Google Advanced Search, and you can find that easily just by Googling it in any browser, actually. Or you can go to the web address here, if you prefer to type that directly in. Now, here we are in Google Advanced Search. I really like the results you get here, because Google have an army of coders and developers like all over the globe who fine-tune this thing every day. It draws on a huge amount of algorithms and maybe some artificial intelligence to serve up the results. And this army of servers and Google coders and AI guys, they're all at your disposal for free. So you've basically got Google Advanced Search plus SAFLII at your disposal, both for free. It's a magic search combination. Now, there's a top part and a bottom part. Now, let's have a look at the bottom part. You need to put in SAFLII's web address. Otherwise, it's going to search the entire web, and you're going to go down rabbit holes and find stuff that's not relevant or American or Canadian stuff. So you put SAFLII's website address in the site or domain bar, and that way, all these powerful Google search algorithms will be focused only on the cases within SAFLII's website. Magic combo. Now, this last update field, I normally leave it the default, which is anytime. It searches everything in SAFLII. It's only when you know for sure that you want only a case added to the site in the last week or month or year that you would use this function. Or like if you were searching for something very common, like default judgments. So you wanted a very recent case on default judgments, then you could limit the results to like only the year or get lucky and only the last month. But I leave it as anytime, and I'm going to leave it anytime for this result. So the only thing we enter in that bottom section is SAFLII's web address. Now, these fields at the top are really, really crucial. The words you choose to enter here and in which fields you enter them, they will make or break your search. That key case you need for tomorrow that will make or break you and bring you accolades from your senior or your instructing attorney or your client, it could be there hidden in SAFLII. And whether you find it or not is going to depend on how cleverly that you use the keywords and in which fields you put them in. Now, the first thing you need to do is think about the kind of words the judge could have used in a case that you need. In my case, I'm wanting a case on confirming jurisdiction. So I have two words, confirm and jurisdiction. And then I'm thinking now, look, I might need cases that found jurisdiction as well. So now I've got, let's see, these 3 words. Then I realized that I need cases where attachment either founds or confirms jurisdiction. And I remember a Latin expression to do with this topic. So I've got attachments and I've got my Latin expression. Now just on this topic, in those key areas, I've never used none of these words or numbers ranging from, I've just in legal searches, I've never had a need for that. So we're just going to focus on these 3 key fields, all these words, this exact word or phrase, and any of these words. So where with our Latin expression or other strings of words, you know for sure that the spelling and sequence of the word will be exactly like that. You can use exact phrase like I've done here. And in this case, now I've put all 4 of our words in find all of these words. So the search will only produce cases that have got all 4 words in each judgment in the list. So what I can do, just to throw my nets a bit wider, is I could put those words in any of these words. So it'll find cases that have any of those. So even find cases if it's missing one of the 4 words, it'll just throw your nets a bit wider. But you might want to try the first bar, see if those results are satisfactory. And if not, then you can put any of these words. Kind of, yeah, it really is almost like fishing, and you've got to adapt your nets to the conditions. The words that you choose and how you enter them here is very important. But the nice thing is that if you don't succeed, go back to this form, change the words or change them around in the fields and just try again. And practice really does improve your results with this method. So yeah, any issues or matters that you have, just go in and practice it and see what comes up. You might be quite delighted. So here's what the results look like after you click search. What is nice about these results from Google Advanced Search is that it gives you some of the surrounding text, so you can get a bit of an idea about the usefulness of the case. So if you use your mouse to highlight the results, you can copy and then paste these results into an email or a Word document for future use or for sending to a colleague. Now, when you paste the options, use the one that keeps all the styles. That way it'll keep the hyperlinks. It's normally got an icon on the paste options. It's got a little clipboard and a paintbrush on it. Then I've just made a sample email here. If your recipient can click on the blue titles and they can actually click through to the case on SAFLII. And this is a very useful function for storing and sharing research. And if you want to include a case reference, now that you've found your cases on topic, you want to include them in your heads or in an opinion or in other documents, maybe your research paper. You go here to the page for that case in SAFLII. And in the main case name, SAFLII include the reported citations of Juta and LexisNexis as well as the neutral citation. This is very handy. SAFLII go to a lot of trouble to do this. So what you can do is copy the string of words on that main case page up to the end of the last citation. Now, don't include the judgment date because this is not normally included in case references. It is very handy that SAFLII includes the case number and the judgment date just for research and checking purposes on their website, but we don't need those for traditional case references. And the case references don't normally include case numbers either. So there's the case number as we've copied it now into a Word document. So I tend to remove these. So then your case reference is going to look like this in your Word document or your email. You should keep all the citations. They are sometimes called parallel citations because you don't know if your reader has access to Juta, LexisNexis, or to SAFLII. Then whichever product they've got, they can go find and read the case. And you never know where your material is going to wind up. So whichever resource they have access to, if you include all the parallel citations, they can go find the case. Now, let's have a look at what the courts do, because this is not finished yet. So let's have a look at how the Constitutional Court style their cases. And we look at this footnote here at the business zone case in para 22. So we see it's very similar to SAFLII, and they put the party name in italics. So we can go have a look at the Supreme Court of Appeal as well. And we have a look at these footnotes here. A recent example here is at footnote 19 with the Mankai case. Neutral citation first, followed by reported parallel citations, separated by semicolons. And again, the party names are in italics and the citations not. So with our example, I'm going to put the party names in italics as well. And for those steps again, copy the whole string of text off the main case page at SAFLII without the judgment date, edit out the case number, and then put the party names in italics, but not the citations. Then we have a case reference in the same style as the Constitutional Court and the Supreme Court of Appeal. Now, are we done? If you really want to take your references to the next level, you can do this. You need to, from where you've copied the case name, copy the web address of that case in SAFLII and highlight only the neutral citation in your Word document with your mouse, and then right-click it, and then you're going to get the option for select link. And that's going to bring up insert hyperlink bar. And then you paste your SAFLII web address into the bar for the address link, and then you click OK. And now your case reference will look like this. And your colleague, senior or principal will be rather impressed that when they're reading your material, they can click through and then read the full case on SAFLII. But we're still not finished. Because which parts of Natel joint are you referring to? Surely not the whole case. Don't do that to your reader. So we need to add the paragraph. And there, we're all done. I've added para 18, which is the most referred to part of Natel joint. It's that beautiful, beautiful paragraph on interpretation. And I've just popped that on the end in the same style as the CC and the SCA. And now that ends our little tutorial on how to search SAFLII and how to do the case references in the same style as the Constitutional Court and the Supreme Court of Appeal. Now, just on another note, the cases as they come from the courts, they often include several applicants and several respondents. But law reporting tradition is that only the first applicant and the first respondent are included in the party names. The other parties are referred to as and another and others. And it looks something like this, and the amicus is sometimes included as well. Now, I find this unhelpful because we have no idea if the others or and another were a natural person, company, NGO, or government department. So in my case references, I remove these, and let's have a look. These are the parts that I take off, and it looks much neater and easier on the eye. In my indexes, less is more. And I mean, some government departments have really long names. So I shorten them, and I shorten company names too. And I just use the key identifying words of the parties like Natel joint versus Ndumeni. Now, just as an example, look at this bad boy, the Hyundai case. Now, here you have a case name as long as some head note summaries. So every time this guy gets cited, it uses up a big chunk of the page. But you know, when I'm reading a judgment, I want to focus on the useful dictum, the reasoning, and the law. I don't want my eye to be distracted by having to wade through a mini essay of the case name. So Here's another example with a reference to one of Zuma's many cases. And you can see here just how long this is. And here I've highlighted the case in yellow. And think about this without the citations, which have conveniently stashed in a footnote. Now see how it interferes with the flow of the reading experience. So what we could do is edit the Hyundai case from this to the below version, and we could actually trim it even more. And I want to show you how it looks in my indexes. That's how it looks. And I only use the SAFLII neutral citation because, you know, with just one click on it, and all of my citations, they're hyperlinked to SAFLII, you can just go straight through to SAFLII. One click, and bang, you're at SAFLII. You can get the full case name and all the parallel citations and a Word and a PDF version. Now, this is what I do in my indexes. So don't do this. It's not accepted practice in any of the courts, and not at Tutor, not at Lexis, not at SAFLII, not anywhere else that I've seen. I'm just giving you a heads up of how the case references appear in my indexes. Let me show you how they look. You see, because my indexes are very Spartan and they use very few words. So I can't have case names taking up space and getting in the way of fast research. I have no bells and whistles, no search windows, no filters, just plain simple indexes. You click, click, scroll, and you find your case. And the cited paragraphs as well are mentioned, as well as where they are cited in the citing case. And you can just click on the blue citation, go to SAFLII, and scroll down quickly to that very paragraph for your research. So yeah, quick, easy, stress-free. And if you go down the wrong topic, you just click up to the main index or Loci Classici button, and you can try another topic. So let me know if you have feedback or questions. I'm always here on LinkedIn, as you know, and you can always also reach me at this email, louis@louiscaselaw.com. And just in closing, JP, I propose a small amendment to that old Latin saying, victory loves preparation, just a small one. I propose that we update it to a more modern take. Victory loves preparation and SAFLII. Guys, get onto SAFLII with Google Advanced and knock your research out. It's an absolutely fantastic combination and for free. Use it and develop your skills. I'm in there every single day, and I keep learning and I keep learning tricks and methods. It is awesome.